The next morning, you awoke alone in the bed, the events of the previous night weighing heavily on you. You saw Jungkook, who was asleep on the sofa, was still resting peacefully. Your heart ached as the memories came rushing back. Unable to contain your sorrow any longer, you burst into tears. The bed felt suffocating, and you knew you needed to be somewhere else. Quietly, you slipped out of bed and made your way to the garden. The early morning air was crisp, but you barely noticed as without thinking twice, you started running around in circles. Your breaths were ragged, and your chest felt like it was being crushed. Each step on the ground was heavy with your sobs. This was your only escape. Every time you feel heavy on your chest, you start to run wherever you find a place. Blood from your nose started to come down, staining your clothes and leaving a trail on the ground. The pain inside you was too much to handle, and you barely felt the physical hurt. You kept running, trying to escape the pain. Your sobs were quieted by the sound of your feet hitting the grass. The garden, once a peaceful place, felt like a never-ending cycle of suffering as you ran in a frantic, directionless pattern. Inside, Jungkook's alarm rang at 6:30 am. He woke up and noticed that you weren't on the bed. A jolt of panic hit him as he called you in a loud voice, "Jungkook, Yin." But not hearing any response, he checked the washroom, finding it empty. His heart pounded as he rushed to the balcony. When he looked down, his heart sank. There you were, running around in the garden, tears streaming down your cheeks and blood coming from your nose. The sight of you, so distressed and hurt, made him feel a deep sense of fear and urgency. "Jungkook, Yin," he shouted, his voice filled with alarm and desperation. You didn't hear him over the noise of your own distress. Without a second thought, he raced down the stairs and into the garden, his heart pounding in his chest. He reached you just as you were about to complete another lap. He grabbed you, pulling you into a tight embrace. "Jungkook, Yin, baby, stop, stop, stop. It's okay, I'm here," he said urgently, his voice filled with concern. "Yin, no, let me go," you cried, your voice trembling with emotion. But he held you tighter, his arms becoming a safe haven against your chaotic emotions. "Jungkook, please, stop fighting. I'm not letting you go. Nothing's wrong, baby. I'm right here," he whispered repeatedly, his voice a gentle. As you continued to cry, Jungkook's touch became gentler. He wiped the blood from your nose with his fingers, his voice a calming whisper. "Jungkook, it's all right. Just breathe. I'm here. Nothing's going to hurt you." After making you calm for about 30 minutes gradually, you began to calm down, your sobs turning into quieter, more controlled breaths. Jungkook looked at you with a soft, determined expression. "Jungkook, baby, how about we get away for a bit? Maybe, like a vacation. Just the two of us. It could help clear your mind." You looked up at him, with your doe eyes and your tear-streaked face reflecting a mix of relief and hope. He kissed the top of your head, his voice gentle. "Jungkook, what do you think? Should we go on this trip? Yin, but where?" Jungkook smiled, brushing a stray tear from your cheek. "Jungkook, do you have any place in mind?" he asked, his tone gentle. You thought for a moment. "Yin, I don't know. Maybe somewhere quiet by the beach," you suggested hesitantly. Jungkook's eyes lit up. "A beachy place sounds perfect. How about we go Maldives?" While saying, he pulled you more closer, and you found yourself sitting on the soft grass with your back against him, his lap providing a comforting cushion. The morning sun warmed your skin, and for the first time in what felt like forever, you began to feel a bit of calm. He wrapped his arms around you, holding you tightly but gently. "Jungkook, we'll find a beautiful beachside cottage," he said, his voice soothing. "Somewhere peaceful where you can relax and start to heal." You leaned into him, feeling his heartbeat against your back, and closed your eyes. You were so tired and emotionally drained that your eyes grew heavy. Jungkook noticed your silence and gently asked, "Jungkook, you don't seem excited. Should we?" He looked over at you and saw you drifting off. He looked at your calm and peacefully asleep face. His heart ached as he remembered the painful scene he had witnessed earlier. He didn't want to see you in such distress again. Gently, he lifted you from the grass, carrying you back to the bedroom. With care, his movements were tender, mindful of the way you were clinging to him. Once in the bedroom, Jungkook laid you down on the bed with practiced gentleness, making sure the sheets were arranged comfortably around you. He tucked you in, smoothing the blanket over you, and placed a soft kiss on your forehead. "Jungkook, rest well, Yin. He stayed for some moments looking at you, then stepped out of the room. He instructed one of the maid, Jungkook, please prepare a meal for Yin, something she'll enjoy. We're leaving tonight, so make sure it's warm and comforting. Then, he called his manager, his tone firm and decisive. Jungkook, handle all my work and get to tickets for Maldives. Booked. I won't be in the office for a few weeks. He moved to the wardrobe, quickly sorting through clothes and packing a single suitcase. He made sure to include everything you both would need for the beachside retreat. As he was engrossed in packing, which was almost done, the maid brought in the food. Jungkook took it and came to softly wake you up. Jungkook, Yin, wake up. I brought some food. We'll be leaving later tonight. Try to eat something, okay? You stirred, still feeling lazy, but nodded and took the plate from him. Jungkook watched as you ate slowly, your exhaustion still evident. He sat on the sofa, opening his laptop to catch up on work. He needed to complete at least half of it before you both left, as he wanted to focus entirely on you during the vacation. You were awake, but your consciousness was far away. He slightly looked over at you. The sight of you struggling to stay awake while eating makes his heart swell with emotions. Jungkook chuckled softly to himself. Jungkook, baby, come here, he said, reaching out his hand to you. In a playful manner. You blinked awake, still feeling lazy, but understanding his intention, knowing he is gonna feed you now. You shuffled over to him, the plate in your hand, and sat down on his lap with a contented sigh and waited for him to feed you, your eyes still half opened. Jungkook's heart skipped a beat at your sweet gesture. He wrapped his arms around you, his touch both comforting and tender. Jungkook, you're so tired, aren't you? He murmured. He picked up a bite of food and brought it to your lips. You opened your mouth, accepting the food, and he patted your head affectionately. Jungkook, I've already packed everything. We're all set for the trip. Just relax and enjoy your meal, he said with a warm smile. You looked up at him. With a tired smile you said, Yin, oh, really? You are like a super train. He chuckled softly, laughing softly at the choice of your words. He kissed your forehead and continued feeding you, his attention fully on you. As you finished the last bite of your meal, your eyelids grew heavy, and you couldn't fight the pull of sleep any longer. You shifted slightly in Jungkook's lap, your body leaning into his warmth as you began to drift off. Jungkook glanced down, a soft smile playing on his lips as he watched you surrender to exhaustion. He kept the plate aside and continued to work on his laptop, his fingers typing swiftly, but his attention kept returning to you. Every few moments, your head would slip from his shoulder, your neck straining as you unconsciously tried to find a more comfortable position. Each time, Jungkook would pause, gently cupping your cheek and adjusting your head back onto his shoulder. He did this with such tenderness, as if he were handling the most precious thing in the world. When his work was finally done, Jungkook carefully closed his laptop and set it aside. He looked down at you, still asleep in his arms, and his heart ached with the love he felt for you. He wished he could keep you like this forever, away from the harsh realities of the world. As the night drew to a close, you and Jungkook boarded the flight and arrived in the Maldives, your excitement barely contained. Jungkook led you to the resort he had booked, the anticipation evident on his face as he watched you take in the beautiful surroundings. When you entered the luxurious room, your eyes widened with excitement. The space was adorned with soft, ambient lighting, a large bed draped in fine linens, and a private balcony that overlooked the crystal-clear beach. You couldn't contain your excitement any longer and began jumping around the room like a child in a candy store, your laughter filling the space. Yin, oh my god, Jungkook, look at this view. You squealed as you bounced over to the balcony, your hands gripping the railing as you leaned over to take in the sight of the sea. Jungkook chuckled, watching you with a mix of amusement and concern. Jungkook, Yin, be careful, you're going to hurt yourself, he said, quickly moving behind you to steady your balance as you leaned too far forward on the balcony. You giggled, brushing off his concern as you spun around, nearly tripping over your own feet in your excitement. Yin, I'm fine, I'm fine. He couldn't help but smile at how carefree and joyful you were. Jungkook, but please, no more jumping around, okay? I don't want to spend our first night here with you in the hospital. You pouted playfully but nodded. Yin, okay, no more jumping, promise. Jungkook, good girl. Jungkook turned his attention to the unpacking, but before he could get far, you had already started exploring the room, your curiosity piqued by everything you saw. You opened drawers, peeked into cabinets, and ran your fingers over the smooth surfaces of the furniture, marveling at the luxury of it all. Yin, oh, what's this? You asked, your attention suddenly caught by a small box on the bedside table. You picked it up, inspecting it closely. Jungkook turned around to see what had captured your interest, and his eyes widened in panic when he saw what you were holding. It was a box of Seondoms, something the resort had thoughtfully provided for their guests. He froze for a moment, his mind racing, as he tried to figure out how to handle this situation. Yin, is this strawberry chocolate? You asked, tilting your head in confusion as you studied the box. You knew what it was, but you had never actually seen one before, so you weren't entirely sure. Jungkook's face turned red as his mind flashed back to intimate moments he had shared with you, memories of your bare skin and the gentle kisses he had placed on your body. He shook his head, trying to clear his thoughts before they got the better of him. Jungkook, no, that's not chocolate. Yin, he stammered, his voice coming out a bit too high-pitched. He quickly crossed the room and took the box from your hands, setting it back on the table. Jungkook, let's just unpack, okay? We need to get ready. Don't you want to go to the beach? Your face lit up at the mention of the beach, and you quickly nodded, your curiosity about the box forgotten. Yin, yes, I want to go to the beach. Let me get changed. With that, you dashed toward the bed and jumped onto it, rolling over to the side where your suitcase was waiting. He watched as you disappeared into the bathroom, a small smile tugging at his lips. Your innocence was something he cherished. Yin, Jungkook, when I ask for my clothes, pass them to me, okay? You called from the bathroom, your voice slightly muffled. Jungkook, sure baby, he replied, already moving towards suitcase to find the outfit you'd need. After wrestling around few more hours, you both finally emerged out of the room, making your way to the beach. When you finally reached the beach, the sight took your breath away. The sand was soft and warm beneath your feet, and the water was mesmerizing. The sun was setting, painting the sky in hues of pink and orange, casting a golden glow over everything. Yin, Jungkook, it's beautiful, you whispered, your voice filled with awe. Jungkook, yeah, he agreed, though his eyes were on you, not the sunset. It really is. You suddenly bolted toward the ocean, your excitement overflowing. Yin, I wanna swim, you squealed and screamed, running full speed into the water, the waves splashing up around you. Jungkook, startled by your sudden dash, hurried after you, his heart racing with concern. Jungkook, hey Yin, wait, do you even know how to swim? He called out, catching up to you. Just as the water reached your waist, you paused for a moment, thinking it over, then turned to him with a casual shrug. Yin, no, not really. Jungkook let out a deep breath, half relieved, half exasperated. Jungkook, you're going to give me a heart attack, he muttered, shaking his head, but there was a fondness in his voice. Without hesitation, he scooped you up into his arms, holding you close. Jungkook, come on, let me teach you. I can't let you drown on our first day here. You giggled, wrapping your arms around his neck as he carried you deeper into the water. Jungkook, you're not afraid of anything, are you? Jungkook slowly eased you into a floating position, his strong hands guiding you gently. One hand rested on the side of your hips, while the other supported you just above your chest. Jungkook, okay, just relax and let your body float, he instructed, his voice soft and reassuring. I've got you. You nodded and tried to follow his instructions, feeling the water gently support your body. Jungkook's hands were warm against your cooler skin, making your heart race. As he helped you float in the water, he noticed how your dress clung to your body, showing every curve. He took a deep breath, trying to stay focused on teaching you to swim. Jungkook, you're doing great, Yin, he encouraged. After a few minutes, Jungkook decided to let go for a moment to see if you could maintain your balance. But as soon as his hands left you, you wobbled, losing your balance. You started to sink, a small gasp escaping your lips. Jungkook reacted instantly, grabbing you before you could go under. His hands found their way to your chest, cupping your Bts tightly in his effort to pull you up. For a split second, he froze, realizing where his hands had landed, but your face was completely unbothered, as if it was the most natural thing in the world. Jungkook, Yin, Jungkook stammered, his face burning with embarrassment, as he quickly pulled his hands away, his heart pounding. He dragged you back to shallower water, his mind racing, That's enough swimming for today, he said, trying to sound calm but failing miserably. Let's go eat something. You pouted, clearly disappointed. Yin, but we just started, you protested, looking up at him with wide, innocent eyes. I was having fun. Jungkook chuckled nervously, lifting you up into his arms again. As he made his way out of the beach, Jungkook, I know, but we'll have more fun later. Right now, let's get some food. You must be hungry after all that excitement. You sulked for a moment, resting your head on his shoulder. But the sound of a nearby restaurant caught your attention. The smell of delicious food wafted through the air, and your stomach growled in response. Yin, okay, fine, you agreed, swinging your legs, your mood brightening, as you looked toward the restaurant. But only if we get something really yummy. Jungkook smiled, his heart swelling with affection as he carried you across the sandy beach. Jungkook, anything you want, baby. You both spent the rest of the day exploring and enjoying the beautiful surroundings of the Maldives. You both were tired, but not exhausted. The moment you entered the room, you threw yourself onto the bed, sprawling out completely. Your arms were spread wide, and your legs swung lazily, taking up the entire bed. Jungkook quietly closed the door behind him and walked over to you. He gently removed your shoes and began massaging your feet, trying to help you relax. He figured you were just tired from the day's activities, so he kept talking, hoping you'd engage when you were ready. But in your mind, something else was stirring. The way you were lying there reminded you of a moment from the past when you felt exposed and uncertain. The memory of Jungkook being so close to you in a similar position between your eggs came rushing back. That memory brought up feelings of frustration and confusion. Your thoughts snapped back to the present, and you quickly pulled your leg away from him, glaring at him with a mixture of anger and confusion. Despite your attempt to be serious, the look on your face came off as more cute than intimidating. Jungkook noticed the sudden change in your mood and immediately felt a pang of panic rise within him. Jungkook, oh, hey baby, is something wrong? He asked, his voice gentle but concerned. You didn't respond right away. Instead, you crossed your arms over your chest, still glaring. Your eyes drifted to his Bts, which was lying on the sofa, and an idea formed in your mind. You wanted to assert some control, to see if he would obey you, like he expected you to obey him. As the night settled around you both, you were cocooned in each other's arms. Jungkook, his voice filled with a mix of determination and vulnerability, broke the comforting silence. Jungkook, Yin, I want to say something, he began, his tone soft but earnest. You snuggled more in his chest, a gentle signal that he can continue. He then took a deep breath, his voice trembling slightly. Jungkook, I love you, Yin. Please, marry me. You know I've been alone in this world, but with you, I don't feel that way anymore. You've become my everything. Tears welled up in your eyes as you gazed up at him, your heart swelling with emotion. You leaned in and pressed a tender kiss to his lips, your voice barely above a whisper. Yin, don't worry. I love you too, baby. Seeing the pure, innocent smile on your face, Jungkook's emotions overwhelmed him. Tears streamed down his cheeks as he spoke with a choked voice. Jungkook, I'm so sorry for everything I've done to you. Whatever my intentions were when I brought you with me, I realize now how much I've hurt you. But I love you, Yin, and only you. I want to make it right. I want to build a future with you. You wiped his tears with your thumb, giving him a smile. Yin, we'll work through it together. We have each other, and that's what matters, you said in a serious tone, your lips and eyebrows curled in an aggressive manner made him chuckle between his tear. Jungkook, oh baby, come here. As you both drifted off to sleep, wrapped in each other's embrace, Jungkook's mind was still racing. He watched you sleep peacefully, feeling a deep sense of gratitude and love. Suddenly, a notification popped up on his phone. Work done, sir. The message confirmed that his task regarding your mother was complete. Jungkook's heart felt a strange mix of satisfaction and relief as he reviewed the final message. On his phone, a smirk crossed his face. The weight of the situation had lifted, replaced by a sense of triumph. He leaned over and gently kissed your forehead, a satisfied grin on his lips. As the night wore on, he held you close and slept in peace. Morning light gently filtered through the curtains, casting a soft glow across the room. You stirred awake, feeling an uncomfortable pressure in your bladder that broke through the warmth of your sleep. The realization hit you that you hadn't used the bathroom since the night before, and the urgency to pee grew stronger. You slowly opened your eyes and blinked against the bright light, trying to get your bearings. As you looked around the room, you noticed the space beside you was empty. Jungkook was nowhere in sight. The bed, once warm and inviting, felt cold and empty. Sitting up with a groan, you noticed the soreness in your muscles. From the previous night, you swung your legs over the side of the bed and winced slightly as you stood. The rush of needing to pee making you moved faster than you intended. Your feet shuffled across the cool floor as you made your way toward the bathroom. The bathroom door was closed, and you could hear the sound of water running from behind it. You realized Jungkook was likely in the shower, but the urgency of your need left you no time to wait. Panic set in as you approached the door and knocked on it, your voice tinged with desperation. Yin, Jungkook, open the door. His voice came from the other side, slightly muffled by the sound of the running water. Jungkook, just give me 2 minutes, baby. Feeling a rising sense of urgency, you began knocking more insistently. Yin, no, come out now. I need to pee urgently. Hearing your distress, Jungkook quickly opened the door, towel wrapped around his torso, water droplets still clinging to his skin. His face showed a mix of surprise and amusement as you nearly pushed him aside in your haste. Without waiting for a response, you hurried into the bathroom and quickly seated yourself on the toilet, finally able to relieve the pressure that had been building. You were wrapped in a blanket. As you finished, you stood up, feeling a wave of relief. Jungkook leaned casually against the doorframe, watching you with a satisfied smile. His eyes conveyed a sense of pride and amusement, clearly pleased that you felt so comfortable and at ease around him. Not giving him any attention, you began brushing your teeth, the cool air of the bathroom mixing with the warm blanket cocooning you. Jungkook's playful eyes followed you as you worked on your morning routine. He was standing right beside you and he couldn't help but chuckle softly. As you spat out the toothpaste foam, a bit of it landed on Jungkook's face, and you both laughed at the unexpected mess. Jungkook, pretending to be annoyed, wiped his face with a laugh. Jungkook, hey, watch it, now I'm all foamy, he said with a playful pout. You giggled and tried to wipe the foam off him, but Jungkook took advantage of the moment. He lunged towards you, tickling you gently. You squealed and wriggled, laughing uncontrollably as you tried to escape his tickling finger. Your laughter filled the bathroom as he continued to tickle you, making you squirm and laugh even harder. At one point, you nearly lost your balance, and Jungkook caught you in his arms, his laughter mingling with yours. In between your fits of giggles, you playfully pushed him away. Yin, no more please. Jungkook, okay, I'm not going to tickle you anymore, he said, still laughing. You both took a moment to catch your breath. Jungkook pulled you into a warm hug, resting his chin on top of your head. You felt his chest rise and fall with each breath as he held you close. Jungkook, ready for the rest of the day? He asked, still holding you. You nodded, feeling grateful for the playful and loving start to your day. The morning had turned into a series of shared moments that brought you both even closer together.